Welcome back to WornOut Racing. In today's episode, I fixed the biggest problem with the Lemon with the help of specs. I sort out a load of problems on my Mark 1 Octavia VRS, which I don't cover very often. I get my workhorse Toyota Previa ready for winter, which leads me on to it's almost cold enough to see the famous bobber hat come back out. And my phone blew up and I got a new one. And I bought a new tool, which is really big. Stick around. Right, let's start today's episode off with a confession. Hello everyone, my name's Ben, and I used to have a Volkswagen addiction. I know it's probably hard to hear me say it, given this is a Fiat channel / Italian car channel to the most part, but I loved them. I had Volkswagen Corrados, Mark III Golfs, Mark I Jettas. Yeah, I used to love me a Volkswagen, and I'll be honest with you, I still kind of do. I got to about 2004 and tapped out, but anything before that, I'm kind of down for a lot of them. Not every kind of style, but I do like it. And I love my Mark I Skoda Octavia VRS. It's a wicked car. I paid hardly anything for it. It's quick, it's been mad reliable, it's decent on fuel, it's big enough for a guy my size, the boot's huge, I think they look good. The aftermarket support for them is nuts because it's essentially a Golf / Bora / any kind of platform from that phase. I've had it for 5 years, which is unheard of for me, and it's finally getting tired. So that's what I'm getting onto in this episode. I apologise now if you couldn't give two flying stuffs about Volkswagen / Skoda / VAG stuff, but I promise I won't push it home too much unless you're interested. So with that said, confessions out there, I'm going to show you my new tool. I'm going to quickly tell you what I need to do to get the Skoda back up to sorted condition, and then we'll jump onto the biggest problem with the Lemon and how I fixed it. You're probably going to be a little bit shocked about that one. And this is the tool that I was talking about. Now that, for the learned amongst you, is a spring compressor. Now that seems a little bit heavy duty, I'll give you, given that how often am I going to do this? But I will explain. My VRS went off to get a Piper exhaust fitted. I found a bargain stainless steel one off of Facebook Marketplace for £80 for a catback, and it was 10 minutes from my house, so how could I not? Gave it to my mate to fit it, just because it's a pain doing them on the floor. While it was up in the air, he noticed that my suspension was sagging really bad on the front, thought it was a top mount that was gone. I kind of just went with that without really looking into it. Bought some top mounts. It turns out doing suspension on this platform sucks. Ordinarily, you have a couple of bolts on the bottom, a couple of bolts on the top. You slide the strut out, it's easy. On these, it's a slip-on collar. Anyone that's done anything with a Mark IV, Golf, Bora, anything in that sort of age, didn't do this on the Mark III. I don't know why they changed it. It slips on, the actual bottom of the strut itself slides into like a housing. It sucks. You can get separating tools, I've learned now, but either way, I've got a lot of chunks missing from my hand. I got it off, and the garage down the road quoted me almost 3 times the price of this tool just to compress my shocks, take the top mounts off, fit the top mounts, and then give me my shocks back. That's not even including taking the top mounts off. Anyone of you who's ever done lowering springs knows it's easy to get top mounts back on because the spring's really short. You just push it down with your hands. And anyone's ever used the manual type clamps knows that sometimes it is sketchy. So I've bought this, and it's made light work of it. So once I realised that it wasn't the top mount, it actually turned out to be the shock itself that was getting really tired, I just went full send. So I've ordered 2 brand new factory spec VRS ones for the back. They're not like VW ones, but they're good enough. And I've bought 2 factory spec VRS ones for the front. Now I've bolted one up. I've done all the top mount and everything on it. I've got it back on the car. It is 99.5% into the collar and is refusing to go in the last little bit. So Amazon's come to save the day again. I've bought a hub strut separating tool for like £10. It's like a little thing that you just slot into the gap, do it up, and it just pulls it apart slightly so you can drop it back in. I didn't even know such a thing existed. But either way, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the other side as well and do the backs. And the backs are an absolute doddle. 3 bolts, easy peasy, just like the front should be. And then I'll report back. Now I appreciate you're probably not here to watch me work on German cars. You might be like me, and you kind of just like cars in general, and you are not fussy as long as they're cool. So if that's the case, stick in the comments if you want to see more of my VRS, because I have got a lot of plans for it. It is getting tired, so that's a good excuse for me to mod it as I go. Let me know. I've had a plan built in my head for years about how I'd like it to look, the wheel style that I'd like. I appreciate I'm going for stock suspension at the moment, but that doesn't mean I haven't got my eye on other things as well. So let me know in the comments. If you want me to avoid all this German stuff like the plague, then I'm still going to own it. I'm still going to do stuff to it. I just won't tell you so much about it. So either way, I'll report back as soon as I've done some more stuff to it. And for anyone wondering why there's an Octavia boot in my garage, the really short answer to that is they rust in the same place on pretty much all of them. My one's going on just underneath where the number plate light is. This one basically doesn't have any, so I'm just going to take the little bit of rust on that it does have. And it's also got a top level spoiler as well, which needs a little bit of paint, but I think it will look cool. Now, I'm not fitting it yet because it's a kind of job that will suck doing it outside in case it starts raining, which it's been inclined to do for the whole flipping year. So I'll report back later on about the potential for me to rent a unit, because I've been having a little word with my man, Shaden, who I've known for many years, and it's looking promising. Now I'm talking to you from my office because the next bit I recorded actually did over a week ago. So I don't know if anyone ever heard me mention this before about the lemon. When I went on my previous track day, a couple of people told me under braking, the back wheels were doing some weird stuff. They almost looked like they were skitting. I always knew something was wrong with the rear end on it. It's never handled right. It's really weird, the handling on it. It used to be all right to start with when you turned a corner, and then it would just get really floaty. I've been putting it off. I don't know why. I was kind of didn't know what I was doing with the car. Yada, yada, yada. So, cut to the clip where I show you what was wrong with it and what I've done to fix it. Here we go. Let's pop you down here. And I've got both my hands. So you ready for this? Now this is the shock from the driver's side. Now I must admit, never really had too much of a problem with the driver's side when you turn right, left even. Kind of felt alright. Now if I press this, it's less than ideal. It should definitely be a lot smoother than that. It is, for all intensive purposes, toast. So that would have helped absolutely nothing. Now for the passenger side. Here we go. It looks just as bad as the other one, but I'm going to show you a slight difference that would have caused me a problem. Now I don't think you need to be a mechanical engineer to realise that that is absolutely cactus. It is doing nothing. It has obviously leaked every single ounce of oil or gas, I don't know whether these probably oil filled ones, that was in there, and it's been doing nothing. So the whole time my back left spring has been doing everything, because this has just been going up and down however it wants. So slightly dangerous then. And this is what I bought to solve the problem. So these are Spacs. You will all be very familiar with these, I am sure. These are 28 click adjustment, and I got these on made to order from Slarkspeed. They've got a load of stuff on eBay, like uprated clutches and all kinds of things for Centos, which is a little bit surprising. But this is actually one of the first brand new sets of branded shocks I've probably ever bought. I've had Cusco coilovers, all kinds of things on cars, but they've either always been on there before, or I've got them second hand. So these ones are absolutely lovely and should do the job perfectly. So I'm going to go get these fitted, and then I'll report back on how much better of difference it actually makes. Probably a good time to tell you actually that these are Cinquecento rear shocks, but if you're one of those people who likes to go for ultra lows, then if you get Cinquecento rear shocks, they're actually shorter. I'm not really sure why. I've got no reason why they're actually shorter, but if you're going super low, go for Cinquecento shocks, but I'd probably say for road use, generally, I wouldn't. My man Patrick runs them on his car. They are wicked for like track day stuff, but he says they are very short and very firm for the road. So there you go, WornOut racing tip. Now I've just come to a realization that this phone, my new phone, doesn't actually have a mount for it for my car. So I don't know how I'm going to do a test drive and take you along with me. Yeah. This might be the best we can do. I can't guarantee it's going to stay there. In fact, I can almost guarantee you that it won't. So I'm going to fire the beast up and we'll take it for a little cruise. At the very worst, I'll pull over and I'll tell you how much of a difference it makes. So I've got these set to about 10 clicks, which is obviously nowhere near the stiff as they'll go, because they'll go to 28. So it should be a little on the soft side. But let's just see how we get on. Right, well now for one, the camera hasn't fell off yet, and two, I can already feel the difference. I can already feel how much firmer the whole car is. The back end now actually feels really firm. It already feels a little bit bouncier, which is kind of nice actually. It always felt a bit woolly before, and I can already feel when I do this, it feels the same both sides. Before it just felt strange on that other side. So I'm feeling very good about this already. In fact, already I can tell, I reckon I could probably go a little softer on the back, and definitely wouldn't do me any harm. So I'm not going to go too far, because no one wants to see me driving for 20 minutes. But I'm just going to pause this and I'll come back to you in a second once I'm somewhere worthy of driving. Well, that's handy. The fuel light's just come on, so we're definitely not going very far. Here we go. Yep, that has, without any question, fixed any handling problems that I had. Even just going around that corner then, I wasn't even going fast, and it is strumming its fingers now. Come on, get in the lemon. Now my biggest thing now it's showing the front end needs a little bit extra as well. I think it definitely needs that extra camber. My phone's dead. Wow, we all knew it was going to happen. Oh, you get a nice shot of my little calf muscle there. Lucky you. Sorry about that. Hopefully somewhere in my incoherent ramblings I actually made it clear that the problem is definitely fixed. It's very hard to drive, talk and do everything safely, especially when you don't have a proper camera mount. But yeah, that is peachy. It definitely now highlights that the front end needs more camber. Now the back is gripping so well. The front, you can tell my camber is very, very neutral. I did soften the rear up a little bit more. I put it down to 7, which has helped. It wasn't quite so skittish. Otherwise though, absolute win. The car handles so good. Now I'm going to walk back into the house because I need your opinion, and it involves the future of this car. So yes, let me just quickly say something. I have got very attached to that car over the last few months. It has been wicked fun. Every time I do something to it, it just gets better and better, and it starts to become that kind of car that it is always meant to be. Really good handling, revvy, low geared, slightly kind of raspy old school kind of feel to it, and more fun than any 899 engined car ever has the right to be. Now obviously I've done a track day in it, it was faultless for that. Ever since I sorted out all those niggles right at the beginning, it has been really faultless. It's wicked. But I appreciate also it has its limitations. It is very low geared, so you are very much, screaming when you're going down a motorway in it. So if you have to go really far, it is a little bit more of a drain. You have to take a little bit longer, so it's not built for that kind of stuff. It's not a road trip car. It is definitely a city/B road blaster for sure. It's also obviously only a 99C. It is obviously also an 899cc, as I just said, so it is not by any stretch of the imagination fast, nor does it need to be. It revs really good, it feels quick, and you can drive everywhere at like 120%, even though that doesn't exist. So it is fantastic, but, and here's the thing, I can only own so many cars. As I've already pointed out, I've got my VRS, that's the daily, that's the car that does everything. I've got my Toyota Previa, which is the car that does all the things I don't want my Octavia to do. Engines, gearboxes, car body parts, tip runs, you name it, that's what that car's for, and it is wicked at it. But I can't have loads of fun cars. I can't. As much as I want this YouTube thing to work out, I can't just have cars laying around doing nothing. So if I want to own some of the other cars I want to own, it'll be the lemon that gets the chop. But I need to know from you, would you like, and this is just to help me make my decision, to see the lemon just keep getting developed, even if that means engine swapping it, doing more stuff to it, messing around with the 899 pushrod engine still? I've still got a spare one I could do something dumb to. Or would you like me to sell it, get something else? It'll almost certainly be Italian. I'm really loving the Italian stuff at the moment. I've got a few ideas, but who knows what might come up. I've even been offered a car that I've been very tempted for a long time. They offered it to me quite a few months ago. The offer's still there. They even offered to actually ship it to me because it's really far away. I'm very, very tempted about it. It's a bit more of a serious car, I would say, in that it is quicker, better spec, I would say, overall. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm fighting my head in my heart here. I should sell it and buy something else rather than spend loads of time and money messing with this one and turning it into something else, because it's the lemon. It's a Trofeo Cinquecento. That's what it should stay, I think. Somebody should buy it and enjoy it like I have and just bomb round in it without care in the world. So yeah, let me know what you think. Do I move on to something new that's potentially got a bit more impact, that I can do a bit more tunable, that's still old school and cool? Or do I just stop being a lemon myself and just keep a car for a while and do some more stuff to it, and then do some more interesting things than just standing in here talking as I am inclined to do? So either way, we'll jump into the last bit of the video and then we'll call it a day. And last but not least, if you are crazy enough to have stuck around to the end of the video about my unit rental and the stuff I've done to the Toyota Previa, basically I sprayed the whole bottom of the Toyota Previa with Lanagard rust remover. You don't need me to tell you the benefits of this stuff. It's environmentally friendly, it's all natural, you don't have to mask anything, it doesn't matter what it gets on. Just spray the heck out of the bottom of your car after you've washed it, put this stuff on, and it is wicked. I did the whole bottom of the Previa and it is nicely ready for the winter. Needs some new tyres, so I may well lower it a little bit and put some cool wheels on it, but otherwise that car is purely there to do its job. Now, last thing, unit rental. Now, it probably comes to no surprise to you that I'm always after more space. Never enough space in the world when you're into cars. You all know that, I know that. Now, Shaden's a good mate of mine. I've known him for a very long time, a lot of years actually. We've always done a lot of car kind of stuff between the pair of us. And I've actually rented part of a unit from Shaden before when I had a bay window camper van. So it shows you how big the section is I can have, because it can fit one of those in there. So it's probably about 1.5 times as wide as a normal garage and a little bit longer, plus, you know, a little bit of space here and there. Now, he has somebody who's moving out from there. We've already talked about price and stuff. I'm not sure when it might happen, but at the moment at least, I think I'm going to go for it. It's about 10 minutes from my house. It will be ideal for those kind of bigger projects where I don't want to just fill my garage up and not be able to use it for anything else. I will do all the stuff here that's like quick jobs, changing wheels, getting ready for track days and stuff, maybe some little flip kind of projects, that kind of thing that's nice and easy here. And then I'll arguably do the cooler stuff at their end. So again, as I mentioned, if I go crazy with the styling on the VRS, I would do that down there. If I'm going to repaint the Previa at some point and slam it, which is what I kind of want to do, I take it down there and just do the spray paint on it, all that kind of stuff. So I'll keep you posted, because let's face it, who doesn't want WornOut Racing to branch out from this tiny little garage, start making some slightly different videos? I feel like I need to do something else. We're doing some of the same stuff for a while now. So yes, I'm very excited about that. Hopefully me and Shaden get that sorted soon. I'll introduce you to the new mini WornOut Racing headquarters, which I'm almost certainly going to put a sign up. That would be great. Anyway, thank you for sticking through this very, very talkative episode. Not a lot of action, I appreciate. But either way, I will see you soon. I've got an idea for the next episode, which will be a lot more hands-on. Thanks for sticking by. See you soon.